Hi there, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now with me, Snehi Shah, and with me as always is Ankita Saxena. This is a show where we'll be taking you through all the big buzzers in today's trade on the back of their individual news flows, bring in technical experts and give you a technical check of what the stocks are looking like on the chart. But before we do that, let's take a look at what the markets are doing right now. And it's been a choppy day in trade for us because you have Nifty that's trading with cuts of more than 1%, Ankita, and you're barely just flip-flopping around those 24,000 levels, and a 350-point cut from the day's highest point.
Absolutely, Snehi. In fact, we have breached those psychological levels of 24,100 on the Nifty, and we are trading with cuts of almost 345 points from the day's high, and we are currently trading hovering around the day's lowest point on the Nifty, barring four constituents. In fact, the rest of the Nifty constituents are in the red. Nifty, Adani Enterprises, Tata Motors, SBI, and Coal India are the only ones that are trading in the green as far as Nifty is concerned. Nifty Bank is also following suit, trading towards the day's lowest point. It's off 790 odd points from the day's high, while the broader markets continue to outperform the benchmark indices, even though they are also trading with cuts of 1/10%, both mid-cap and I think mid-cap has ticked up into the green. I think, yeah, they're flip-flopping between the red and the green, currently absolutely flat, but nonetheless they have changed to a shade of green. Sectorally, PSU, banks, media and metals are holding on to the shade of green, whereas Nifty IT is really taking it on the chin today with cuts of almost 2.4%. Auto is also in the slow lane. It's down 1.2% in trade. That's how the sectors are panning out, but Adani group of stocks continue to shrug off those worries, the fraud allegation worries after that clarification yesterday, and the likes of Adani Green, in fact, is locked in the upper circuit for a while now. In fact, all Adani stocks are doing pretty well. Adani Green locked in upper circuit there. Also, we have Cochin Shipyard that was locked in upper circuit, and this for the fourth consecutive session. After the fall of the 50% from its highs, Cochin Shipyard is also doing pretty well now. HDFC Bank seems to have broken out of the 2-year slump, and its market cap has topped today 14 lakh crores for the first time, and the stock is cruising towards its all-time highs. Of course, that is following the MSCI reject, but that's how largely the markets are panning out. Right now, it looks a little somber on the benchmark indices, is what we can see.
Absolutely, IT deeply under pressure. However, the defense names are doing pretty well in today's trade. But on that note, let's kickstart the show then, and welcome on board Ashish Kyal, founder and CEO of Wave Strategy Advisors today. And today from our research team, we have Gaurav joining us. Thanks so much, gentlemen, for taking the time out, joining us, and good afternoon to both of you as well. But before we come to you, Ashish, I'm going to kickstart the show and talk about Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, because this stock has been in focus ever since the opening bell today. They've successfully completed the sale of the non-performing assets and written off loans worth 270 crores to an asset reconstruction company. And in a regulatory filing, the bank confirmed that as of 27 November, it had completed the sale of the stressed loan portfolio, including written off loans with an outstanding value of 270.3 crore rupees as of 30th September of this year. The transaction, conducted through the Swiss challenge method, was sold to the ARC for a consideration of 40.5 crores. Remember, earlier on the 15th of this month, the bank authorized board committee had approved the proposal for the sale of these NPAs and the written off loans to the ARC, and that has now happened. So on the back of this stock is soaring away in today's trade, despite the market being quite beaten up today. This stock is up 7% as we speak.
All right, Ujjivan Small Finance Bank holding on to some good gains, of 7% in a market like this. But coming to you, Ashish, BEML is a name that you have picked out for us. Now, this one has really given good moves in the last 1 month. There seems to have been a breakout because the last 6 months it has been in a corrective phase. From here on, what are the levels that you're penciling in? What is the upside to this counter?
See, if you look at BEML, I think the stock has managed to bounce back from that 3,600 mark over past week, and it has now touched 4,250 above levels also. So the overall trend looks to be positive. There were multiple support the stock has found at 3,620 and is now breaking out on the upside. The volumes have picked up pretty well with the rise. That shows a healthy upside sign. And we can expect the stock to move towards the level of 4,600. On the downside, the support for the stock is going to be around 4,120 level. So as long as 4,120 is intact, one can play for the target of 4,600 on the upside.
Okay, so those are the levels to watch out for. Ankita, Vedanta is in focus as well.
Absolutely, Vedanta is in focus today. In fact, it was trading with gains of 1% in the morning's trade. That is on the back of, it's up now almost 1.5% now. This is on the back of the Moody's rate rating upgrade, upgraded the corporate family rating of Vedanta Resources following its successful liability management exercises. The rating agency has upgraded the corporate family rating of the company from B3 to B2, and additionally Vedanta Aluminium has also partnered with PwC India to bolster biodiversity conservation and carbon reduction in Odisha. And on the back of that news flow and the upgrade coming in by Moody's, Vedanta is in focus today, trading with gains of 1.5%.
Okay, so good move coming in for Vedanta as well. And Ashish, you've picked out CAMS for us on the chart. Now, year to date, the stock is up roughly 85% already. So, do you believe there is further up move to this rally that we've seen for this stock so far, or now are you expecting some consolidation? And if so, what are the levels that we should be spotting out?
See, if you look at CAMS, the stock has managed to touch that 52-week high, despite when we saw the broader market or Nifty collapse from 26,000 to below 24,000. And it has still touched that lifetime high. So it shows relative outperformance. If you do a ratio analysis, it shows CAMS has outperformed the broader markets as well, and the trend remains positive. So I'm optimistic that the stock is going to resume its upward journey towards the level of 5,400 on the upside. And on the downside, use any dips that you can get around 4,800, 4,750 as an opportunity to re-enter the stock and maintain a stop loss of 4,600 for the target of 5,400.
Alright, that scans on the chart, but moving on, Gaurav, you have picked up the high flyer in today's trading session that's trading at its life highs, KEC International. Massive order win coming in. Tell us, take us through the details of this order win and how much is this order worth?
Yes, when we talk about KEC International, now the company has received a new order worth 1704 crore rupees. When we talk about the order and the specifications, the order is specifically in the transmission and distribution business of the company, and this order is to design, supply and installation of around 765 kilowatt of transmission lines, at the same time GIS substation for Power Grid Corporation of India. Now what the company has said about the order is that they said that this order will further strengthen the India's transmission and distribution book for the company. And when we talk about, and if we include this order in the year-to-date orders that the company has won so far, the order book now stands for 16,300 crore rupees in this segment itself. This actually reflects an impressive growth of around 60% on a year-on-year basis. As a result, when we talk about stock performance also, as you highlighted correctly, the stock is soaring up in trade today. It is still up 3%, so definitely watching out on this counter.
Okay, so KEC International also very solid moves coming in amid a rather choppy market. But Ashish, you've picked out RCF for our viewers on the charts, Rashtriya Chemical and Fertilizers. Now the stock has not done anything at all. If you take a look at this on the last 3 months, 6 months, if you take a look at this year to date, it's barely a low single-digit return coming in for this stock. Tell us, what's the outlook going ahead? Time for a pickup? Is that what the charts are indicating for this one?
Yes, indeed, because the stock, you rightly pointed out, has corrected sharply from 240 levels about a year back and about a few months back itself, and corrected to 150. And from here, we saw a double bottom formation. We saw some positive divergence that indicates that there is a reversal. And the stock has now managed to cross above the 20 and 10 days moving average. That is suggesting that the trend which was on the downside is possibly reversing back on the upside. So we can expect the stock to reach towards the level of 200 also on the upside. And on the downside, the stop loss can be maintained at around 160 level. So the risk reward looks very appealing, 1:3. So one can look forward to buy RCF for 200 as the target and 160 as the stop loss.
Alright, with that, it's time for a quick breather, but you don't go anywhere. We're getting you more stocks on the other side of this break, so stay tuned.
Hi there, welcome back to Market Fatafat. Thanks so much for staying tuned to ET Now. Let's keep it going with all the stocks in focus. And the next stock I wish to highlight today is Ashoka Buildcon. This is on the back of an order win coming in. But before that, remember that yesterday the company confirmed that the National Highways Authority of India, which is the NHAI, had cancelled the bid for the Kharagpur-Ghatal road project in West Bengal due to administrative reasons. Now, in a subsequent update, the company has announced the receipt of a notification of award for a 192.7 crore project from Madhya Pradesh Purva Kshetra Vidyut Vitran Committee Limited. Now, this project involves the procurement, installation, testing and commissioning of new 11 kilowatts lines and related infrastructure under the feeder separation program financed by the KFW. The project is to be executed within a time frame of 24 months. So yesterday they've had an order cancellation, but last evening post market hours they've updated the exchanges with a notification of the bagging of an award, and that's the reason why the stock is doing pretty well for itself amid a beaten down market. 1.7% higher is what the stock is.
All right, that's a Ashok Build coin trading with gains of 1.7%. But Ashish, coming to you, Interglobe Aviation. This one's also flying high today in trade. In fact, it's trading with gains of more than 2%. But last 1 month also, it has given some really good moves. Tell us, where do you see this stock flying off to?
See, if you look at Interglobe Aviation, we can clearly see the stock made a low around 3,850 levels. From there, showed a very smart recovery on the upside and is managing to sustain there. Even today, it is in the positive sign. I think the stock can fly up to the levels of around 4,800 on the upside. This is a positional take from around 3 to 4 months perspective. And on the downside, one can maintain a stop loss of around 4,100 levels.
Right, that's Interglobe Aviation on the charts. But moving on to LIC, sources are telling us that LIC is in discussion to acquire as much as 50% or half the stake in Manipal Cigna Health Insurance as the country's largest insurer seeks an entry into the fast-growing yet underserved market for medical expenses coverage, according to sources. Now, Manipal Cigna is a joint venture between Manipal Education and Medical Group and US-based Cigna Corporation. Now, the Bangalore-based group holds a 51% stake in the standalone health insurance company, while Cigna Corporation owns the remaining 49%. And on the back of this, LIC is in focus today, currently trading with gains of 1.7%.
Okay, so good moves coming in for LIC also today. Ashish, you picked out Chambal Fertilizers for us. This is your second pick coming in from the fertilizer space. Tell us overall if you're bullish on this space, and this seems to have done better than RCF, the one that you spoke about earlier. Is the outlook the same going ahead? Are you positive on this stock, and what are the charts indicating?
Yes, if you look at the sector, overall the chemical fertilizer space has been looking to have reversed on the upside and after a brief consolidation. So if you look at Chambal also, Chambal was moving in a broad range of 540 levels on the upside and on the downside 460 as the support. It has been a broad range for quite some time. I think nearly 6 months of range bound movement has happened and the breakout has to come. So I think this up move will break that 540 levels and will move towards around 600 also on the upside. So the overall trend for Chambal looks to be bullish for the target of 600 in anticipation of a positive breakout, and on the downside one can maintain a stop loss for the stock at around 460 levels.
All right, moving on from Chambal Fertilizers to Gaurav, Hudco, NBCC, both of these stocks are in focus today. They've signed an MOU. Take us through the details of the pact.
Well, yes. When we talk about Hudco and NBCC, both the stocks are in focus and both the stocks are trading in green today. And the reason being that both the companies have signed an MOU for the development of a land parcel. This land parcel is spread across 10 acres and it is situated in Noida. When we talk about land parcel, it is likely to have around 8.7 lakh square feet of built-up area, and the tentative cost of the project is going to be around 600 crore rupees. Now, this 10 acres of land is owned by Hudco, and NBCC will undertake the execution of the said project with the scope of concept of commissioning. Now, with this news, we are seeing both the stocks soaring up in trade today. When we talk about Hudco, that is up 2.6%, while NBCC is up 3.5%. So definitely watching out on both these companies on the back of the MOU that we have signed recently.
Okay, Gaurav, thanks for that. Now, both Hudco and NBCC doing pretty well for themselves. But Ashish, one stock that's not been doing well on the charts for quite some time is SBI Cards, which is your next pick for us. Now, year to date, on a 1 year basis, either when you take a look at that, or 3 months also, in fact, it's been a negative return coming in. Last 6 months, the stock is given a 1% positive return. It's been quite the laggard. So, what's the view coming here for this stock going ahead, and what are the levels that you're spotting?
See, SBI Cards, if you look at SBI Cards, 680 was the level from where the stock has bounced back multiple times, and we can clearly see even today it has formed a strong bullish candle. So the overall trend for SBI Card looks to be positive for me over near term. It can go to the resistance level of around 750. This is a short term bet, and 750 can be the target for SBI Card, and on the downside one can maintain a stop loss at 700 levels.
All right, moving on from SBI Cards, the Godrej Group today has shared its corporate strategy after the family settlement and also unveiled its revamped logo. In an interaction with ET Now's Anurag Joshi, the management says that they see major opportunity in the aerospace engineering segment. Let's go across and listen in to what they had to say.
I think we work with our customers, to realize what they want to make. So essentially, these are designs which come from government agencies. We improvise on them, we make them manufacturable, and provide that to the government agencies. So it is not our product, it's a government agency's product which we make. But we have learned over the years deep expertise in things like welding very exotic materials, fabricating exotic materials, etc. And these are, the stringency that is required is very great. So we do that.
Right. You've always said that, you're never looking for capital. And I remember that Godrej and Boyce, you were one of the biggest privately held companies in India for several decades. At what point of time do you think, that that call may come that, you may need to have to tap the markets and you may have to list your businesses?
Well, we have had very strong cash flow in our businesses, and we have been able to take care of all our requirements for investment and modernization and for moving to new locations. And at the moment, we don't feel the need for, significant new capital. If we do, and when we do, we would certainly consider a listing.
All right. And Godrej Properties, again, there are no changes in the terms and also in the ownership. Godrej Enterprises Group, what is your commitment going to be to Godrej Properties, given the fact that, you have been the owners of that land for, I'll say for more than a century, if I'm correct?
So, as I mentioned earlier, there's no change in the ownership of the land holdings. They continue to be in Godrej and Boyce. We have had an agreement with Godrej Properties for the last more than 10 years for Godrej Properties to do the marketing of the projects. So we conceive and design the projects and build them, and Godrej Properties does the marketing. That's an arrangement that's been in place for a long time and will continue to be that way.
Right. Your security solutions business, the locks, and security devices. What are the things you're planning in the future? How are you planning to transform that business? Are there any kind of goals you've set internally?
Well, as far as locks and security devices are concerned, what consumers are looking for constantly is higher quality of security. So what we do is we have a 5-stage security offering. So it depends on what your needs are, what your the price that you wish to pay for it, and accordingly we can give you a mechanical lock which will never interchange a key. And so it just depends on what is it that you really want. I think that the mixture between mechanical and electronic, electric, that whole scenario where mechatronics becomes important will, I think, become more and more important in these products.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.